Anyone who tells you that owning is cheaper than renting, number one, does not understand arithmetic. Number two, is completely gaslighting you. And your parents and teachers are no smarter than you are when it comes to money. This is a huge mistake that many people make with money, and we're going to help you try and avoid it. This article just came out and shows that many homeowners are trapped in increasing costs when it comes to shelter. The first homeowner they profiled underestimated all the expenses that comes with owning a home. Quote, "I had to take out an additional mortgage to replace the HVAC system. I keep increasing the deductibles on the home insurance to try and keep my premiums down. 50% of my income goes to housing costs." Your primary residence is not an investment. I don't care what your parents and teachers tell you. Shelter is not an investment. Shelter is a consumer product. It is a consumption item. That means it requires cash flow to carry it, to pay for all the maintenance, property tax, insurance, landscape. Investments don't need to be carried. Another homeowner called their primary residence a financial burden. Quote, "I've come to view home ownership and healthcare as destabilizing forces in my life." This is a 45-year-old network engineer who says that they are foregoing medical and dental treatment just to cut back on expenses to afford the home. "In 4 years, we plan to sell our home and move full-time into an RV. Our home provides no security. Quote, "Costs are overwhelming. If I could get rid of the house, I absolutely would." There's only two reasons to buy a home. Number one, you can afford it. Number two, you want it. If you can't afford it, you shouldn't be buying. The rule for affording a home is 23. 20% down payment. That means you have 20% of the purchase price in cash in your bank account. And the price of the home should be no more than 3 times gross annual household income. Your household income is $200,000 a year. You can afford maximum $600,000. The rule does not tell you what's available in the market. You make $200,000 a year, can afford $600,000, and everything around you is $1 million. It means you cannot afford to buy any of the homes. The rule does not tell you what's available around you. It's talking about you, what you can afford. And you can't afford $1 million home. Another homeowner notices that her Social Security income, equivalent to our Canadian CPP and OAS, is not enough to cover utilities and all the maintenance around the home. To manage these increasing costs, they've given up on insuring their homes. As I said earlier in the video, a home is a consumer product. It is not an investment. It is a consumption item. It requires cash flow to maintain. If you do not have high levels of cash flow, you're not going to be able to maintain your primary residence. Well, those who say that renting's not a solution, mortgage is cheaper than rent, that's beside the point. Renting was never said to be a solution. You need to find shelter that you can afford. And the fact that the mortgage is less than rent is really irrelevant because the maintenance, property tax, insurance, landscaping, capital expenditures will all increase over time to be more than rent. It is well known that renting is cheaper than owning. I'm not saying renting is better than owning. I'm saying when it comes to money and cash outlay, renting is cheaper than owning. Anyone who tells you that owning is cheaper than renting, number one, does not understand arithmetic. Number two, is completely gaslighting you and ignoring a whole bunch of expenses to make their argument. Don't be fooled by your friends and family to buy a home. You better make sure you can afford it or you're going to find yourself in a lot of financial difficulty. And if you can afford a home under the 20 and 3 rule, I hope you enjoy your new home. It's going to be fantastic. Learn the lessons about money that your friends and family didn't teach you. Download my free newsletter linked off the bio. Good luck. Take care.